Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson. We got a great show coming up here, coming out of Philadelphia. The Believe You Can event is happening once again, and it's the third annual. It's called the Dancing Dots Presents Believe You Can 2022. And Simon Bonifant is bringing on all the people behind the scenes that are making all this happen each year. And this year is going to be a very special year as well. I just want to remind you, you can check out all the Blind Abilities podcasts at www.blindabilities.com. Listen to Blind Abilities wherever you listen to podcasts and get all the tech abilities, all the iPhone 101 demonstrations, quick bites.
Can't forget about the quick bites.
Right on your phone, right on your computer, on your smart device. Like I said, wherever you listen to podcasts, we'll be there. And without further ado, here's Simon Bonifant and the Keystone Chapter. Hope you enjoy.
Hello everyone on Blind Abilities. This is Simon Bonifant here, and we have a packed virtual studio today. A lot of people. We're going to be talking about the third annual Believe You Can talent show hosted by the National Federation of the Blind of Pennsylvania, Keystone Chapter. We're going to be talking a lot about this talent show, all the prizes, acts that you're going to expect to hear, all the anticipation leading up to the event. And if you have been to the talent show before, we would like you to come back and join us again. It's going to be a great experience, great event, and you definitely will not want to miss it, and you won't be disappointed. I'm going to go around the virtual studio and introduce who we have here. We have David Goldstein from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. He is on the committee for Believe You Can, and he is also part of the White Canes Connect podcast. We'll talk a little bit about that. Very nice to have you, David.
It's a pleasure, Simon. Thanks for having me.
And we have Harriet Go, who is the president of the Keystone Chapter. And you're going to be hearing from her a little bit about the Keystone Chapter itself and the workings of the NFB, for those who are not familiar. So Harriet, it's very nice to have you on tonight.
Hey, Simon. Thanks for having me. I really am excited to be here.
Great. Now we have Lisa Bryant, who is the chair of the Believe You Can committee. So all this could not have happened without the tireless and wonderful work of Lisa Bryant. And Lisa is also part of the White Canes Connect podcast. It's very nice to have you on, Lisa.
It is great to be here.
Absolutely. And we have Jana Jackson from Nashville, Tennessee, and she was a performer in Believe You Can last year. She's going to be talking about her experiences in the talent show and why she liked it. And if she's coming back this year, she'll give you an inside scoop on what she's going to do. So Jana, how you doing today? And very nice to have you on.
Hi, Simon. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. And I am told that you are a longtime listener to Blind Abilities, correct?
I am. I love it.
Okay, very good. And we also have Stacy Leap, who is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She's from the Keystone Chapter. And last year, she was part of the hosting of the Believe You Can talent show. This year, she's going to be doing a little bit more of the behind the scenes work in terms of the tech work to make the Zoom run smoothly. It's very nice to have you on.
Thank you, Simon. It's always great to be with you and with everybody here.
Great. So for those who are not familiar with the National Federation of the Blind, let's turn it over to Harriet. Harriet, give us a little bit of the history of the National Federation of the Blind, some of the work that we do, and specifically some of the work that we do in the Keystone Chapter, and why this Believe You Can fundraiser is so important and vital to the work that we do.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, Simon. So just a little brief overview. The National Federation of the Blind is a national organization of blind people and their friends and family. We have an affiliate in each state, and then in each state we have various numbers of local chapters. And we believe that the most crucial work that we do in terms of reaching other blind people and helping other blind people, that's really done at the local level. The local level is where the chapter works, and we have the most reach within our communities throughout each state. It's really important in our organization that we not only help ourselves who are blind, but most importantly, help other people who are blind. And what do? We help people to realize their full potential as blind people. We want people to understand and believe in a positive philosophy about blindness, and that blindness should not hold you back to whatever you want to accomplish in life, whether it's a career goal or a family goal or a personal goal. We believe that blindness should not be the reason that holds you back. If something's going to hold you back, it might be financial reasons or other type of reason. It might be availability of resources, but whatever it is, we don't want it to be blindness, and we don't want blindness to be the excuse for why we are not living up to our dreams or reaching our dreams. So we really believe in a positive philosophy, and we want to help others see that as well. And, the components to reaching our goals and dreams is developing our blindness skills, which includes Braille reading, non-visual skills, travel and mobility skills, and technology skills. So those are the very key components that really help people who are blind or visually impaired to really strive to become independent. So that's, in a nutshell, a very small nutshell, what we do and the foundation of what we do. So within the chapter, we work to help make that possible. Like, we do outreach events, we have public awareness events, we try to connect with individuals who need some social support in regards to their philosophy and their experiences as a blind person, because many people who are recently blind, especially adults, a lot of people don't have positive experiences of people with disabilities, let alone blindness itself. So connecting with others individually is really crucial to the work that we do, because we want people to know that there are blind people who are doing things that sighted people are doing, and blindness is not something that should get in the way of what the individual wants to do. So that's really the bulk of it. And that's really mainly what we focus on the chapter level.
Right. And if someone wanted to get involved with the NFB, how would they do that?
My advice would be to first find out who your state president is. And if you go to www.nfb.org, you can do a search for who is your affiliate president. So here, most of us are here from Pennsylvania. We would look and find out who our state affiliate president is in Pennsylvania. Once you make contact with your affiliate president, the individual and the president will talk about your location, what kinds of things you're trying to achieve. Are you a student? Are you a senior losing your vision? Are you currently working or were working and would like to get back into work? We'll discuss where you are in your life stage and then figure out what types of services or supports you might need. And the state president can help the individual also connect to the closest local chapter. Usually a lot of affiliates, if they don't have a local chapter near where the individual lives, there's usually an at-large chapter too. So that's always an option for people who might live in more remote places of a state. So that would be the best. And then once you connect with the local chapter president, definitely go to chapter meetings, check it out, see what it's all about. Don't stop after the first meeting if it's overwhelming and a lot of information. I would suggest and really, really encourage people to give it a try. And give it a try means attending more than one meeting, and you'll really find your niche within the organization. It works both ways. The organization helps individuals, but we also believe that individuals can also give back to the organization as well as give back to the community at large.
Yes, absolutely.
So all very good reasons and great ways to get involved. And once you get connected with your local chapter, you can also still help out on the affiliate level or on the national level as well. So it's not like a one-way road to helping out.
Great. Okay, now let's talk specifically about the Believe You Can talent show. I'd like to go to you, Lisa. You are the chair of the Believe You Can committees, as I had mentioned before. So why don't you give an overview of what this year's Believe You Can talent show is going to look like, and why do we do this talent show in October as well? You want to touch on that?
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to. Well, first of all, I think one of the most important distinctions about this year's show is its name. For the first time in our 3-year history, we have a sponsor. So the name of the show is Dancing Dots Presents Believe You Can 2022. So that's pretty significant. And I have to say, you were talking about who makes this all happen. And as I said, it's a team effort. And I think it was probably our first show that David, who is of any of this team, probably the most business-minded, talked about the potential for sponsorship, but we just kind of never really pursued it. Maybe we didn't believe we could, but we did this year. So we do have a major sponsor who has naming rights to the show. So that is pretty significant, and we can kind of circle back to other supporters that we have. I think the other part of the question was why we do it in October. So the National Federation of the Blind has always had, and Harriet probably is better at the history of this, but October has always been Blind Awareness Month. So that this year, the name is Blind Equality Awareness Month. And also White Cane Day is October 15th. So actually the talent show falls on White Cane Day. So that's why it's always held this time of the year. And we're looking forward to a great show again this year. We have been blessed and fortunate to have some very talented people and all levels. You know, some are just kind of sing for the love of singing, but some are a little more professional, a little more experienced, and they just like to do it. So I think the audience is going to be very, very entertained, satisfied. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to showcase talent within the blind and visually impaired community. What I look forward to each year is seeing not only the performances, but for the sighted community to see how big the world is of blindness. And it's not just a polar thing of either being able to see or not. It's a lot of stuff that in between. So that's part of the show as well.
Yeah, okay, great. So can you give us the rundown of the time, where people can buy tickets, and any other relevant information about that?
Sure. So it is Saturday, October 15th. Start time is at 8 o'clock. We have 2 ticket prices and also the opportunity to make a donation. A single ticket price is $10. A watch party for 4 or more people is $25. But you could also go on to BelieveYouCan.Live to make a donation, to purchase the tickets. You can also see more information about our sponsors this year. And we are just about closing in fact, today was a deadline for performers. So we probably have our lineup pretty solid right now. But if there's someone out there who just has to be on the stage, there might be an opportunity to reach out. Just call us and see. We'll see what we can work out, because we hate to turn people away. We don't want to cut it too close to the vest because the show is rapidly approaching.
Yes. And there's also a talent sheet form that's on the BelieveYouCan.Live website as well for anyone who would like to check that out. Yeah.
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay. There's another great thing that we do with Believe You Can, which is the cash prizes, and it involves some audience participation. Can you touch on that?
Yes. So that's the other great thing, is that this is an interactive event. So people are not just on another Zoom watching sort of passively. You will have the opportunity to vote. So there will be the raised hand option that probably a lot of Zoomers are familiar with. There are top 3 prizes of $150, $100, and $50. And then we're going to have a second round of consolation prizes. And we're sort of just going to announce that a little closer to the actual show. So we don't vote. The hosts do not vote. This is the audience speaks.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you had mentioned at the beginning that we have a new thing that we're doing this year. We have the sponsorships. Can you talk a little bit about that, how that idea came to fruition, and what is that going to entail?
Well, like I said, that was David's idea to even pursue this. When we first had our show, we just finally put our pedal to the metal and did it this year. So Dancing Dots, as I said, is our major sponsor. So the name of the show is Dancing Dots Presents Believe You Can 2022. People, when they go on the website, will see a blog post from them. There'll be some other links to their contact information. The owner and founder of the show, Bill Mccann, will be submitting a video where he'll address the audience. There will also be a little product promo that will play during the show. And then we have Accessible Pharmacy, who has very graciously offered to sponsor the $50 cash prize. And we have another sponsor that's yet to be determined. So stay tuned. Announcement. But this is big because it just gives our show another level of awareness. So now we're on the radar of these companies that make products that serve our community.
Oh, yes, definitely. It's really a win-win situation because the business gets the exposure and the business is also able to help out our cause and the thing that we're doing. Great. And David, can you talk about Dancing Dots and what they do as a company?
Yeah, as Lisa said, Dancing Dots has been around. They just celebrated their 30th anniversary in the middle of September. Their premier software is called Good Feel, and it is the world's first commercial blind music translator software. It allows folks who are blind to read, write, compose, and make music with the software. Bill Mccann, who is the head of Dancing Dots, calls it accessible score. And it has just been a game changer. So if you're out there and you need some way of reading music, you want to get involved in music, it's great software. And they have some other software available as well. You can find them at dancingdot.com. And they are a local Philadelphia area company, again, started about 30 years ago.
Okay, great. And I believe for those who are interested, you and Lisa have an interview with Bill Mccann on the White Canes Connect podcast as well. Do you want to briefly touch on that?
Sure. It is episode 45 of White Canes Connect. Came out actually on their 30th anniversary back on September 14th. And Lisa and Stacy talked to Bill about how he started the program, how he got started in software development, and talks about how he developed some other software and how he's acquired other software along the way. And it is a great interview. He gives a brief demo. He even wrote a song for Stacy on it called Cello for Stacy. And Stacy, I don't know, maybe you get that as your ringtone. It was a great interview. And to be honest, I enjoyed editing that so much because there was so much great information. And Bill just has a wealth of knowledge in the music industry. And he talks about some performers who have used it. There is a Grammy nominated performer that has used the software. A whole bunch of great people have used it. And it was just a fantastic interview and one of our longer episodes. Again, White Canes Connect, episode 45.
Okay. And I believe that people will be able to hear a sneak peek behind the scenes information on Believe You Can on White Canes Connect as well. Can you give us a little bit of what that's going to be like?
We've talked about it on a couple of episodes. Harriet was on to talk about her main job in life, which is a school teacher, but because she's the president, it would be amiss if we didn't get into Believe You Can. So that is episode 46. And coming up next week on episode 48 of White Canes Connect, we have Jana Jackson, who we'll hear from a little bit here. We'll talk to her about what it was like to be on the show and if she's coming back, which I think she's going to give a little sneak peek here on this show. For this year's show, in that episode, we touch on some of the performers who have already given their sound checks. One of the cool things that we do with Believe You Can is the sound checks, just to make sure the folks who are performing have their settings right on their computers. And again, some are very skilled. Some are just folks that like to sing and they don't know about some of the things and some of the settings they should have so they sound their best. And so we get to talk to each of them before the show. We go through a little bit of their performance and it's kind of fun to hear some of the things that they do and some of the, as they're messing around with, for example, their pianos or guitars, and they just start playing things. And it's just a lot of fun. And we also get little snippets that we will also be playing on upcoming episodes of White Canes Connect, where they talk about how they got into music or whatever they're performing at the show. And they also talk about why they want to be on the show. They tell us where they're from and so forth and so on. It's just a lot of great fun. And it's great to get to know the folks.
Great. And for those who would like to find that, what is the web address again for the White Canes Connect?
You can find White Canes Connect on Apple and Spotify. We're on Google. We're on iHeart. We are now on YouTube, so you can find us there. You know, funny thing is, I don't know what the address is for our YouTube channel because we don't yet have the actual naming because we don't have enough views yet, obviously, as we've just gotten on YouTube. Best bet would be to look in your podcast player of choice and just type in White Canes Connect, and we should come up there.
Okay, great. So now let's go to you, Jana. Jana, you were a participant in last year's Believe You Can, and what was your experience of that?
It was a great experience. I sang on the show last year. I sang a song called On the Rock I Stand. I'm a gospel singer, and I wanted to do something kind of fun because it had just been, we were still in the pandemic and so much was going on, and I was like, I just want to do something fun. So I did. It's a real upbeat song, and I had a great time. I enjoyed listening to the other performers, and it was a lot of fun.
That's great. And are you going to give us a little bit of a preview of what you're going to be doing, or we're going to have to wait for the show?
Well, gosh, I'm going to be singing again, and this time I am going to slow it down a little bit, and I'm going to sing a song that I wrote called Amazing. I'm going to do that on the show. I'm real excited about it.
Okay, and what was that song about?
It's definitely a Christian song. It sounds cliche-ish, in a way, but sometimes you just go through so much, and just to realize at the end of the day that you got through whatever it is that you were going through. And for me, it's my faith that gets me through that, and it's what God is to me, and just his grace and his mercy and his compassion. It's just about how amazing God is to me.
Oh, that's terrific. That is wonderful. And I definitely think it goes along with the Believe You Can mindset.
Yes.
Celebrating the achievements that we have and celebrating our gifts from God as well.
Yeah, I'm just so grateful.
Wonderful. Now let's talk to Stacy. I know that, as I said before, you were one of the hosts of last year's Believe You Can. And what was your experience like with that?
For hosting, I really had a good time. I don't think anyone else enjoyed my corny jokes, but I enjoyed it. That was the fun part of it, just being able to listen to the different performers last year. Lisa and I took turns introducing the performers and just understanding who they are and their background in addition to listening to the performance. It was really a moving moment.
I know that you're going to be helping out behind the scenes a little bit this year. What is it that you're going to be doing?
With the expansion of sponsorship and getting more people involved and just trying to get more participants to come and listen to the show, we've noticed there might be a need for more hands on deck behind the scenes. So I'll be helping kind of with crowd control, muting and unmuting, helping make sure the participants that are performers get moved on to the virtual stage and they're in queue, and then, just as provide as many hiccups as possible. But I think Lisa enjoys me being behind the scenes. That way I don't have to say those corny jokes with her. I'm pretty sure her eyes were rolling last year.
Yes, I'm going to need a list of those jokes.
And we can see who has the better delivery, David or Stacy. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And Stacy, I know that you run an integral part of a division or a group of the NFB based on your own experiences. You want to touch on that?
I run the Blind Parents Group. We started it back in March of 2021. I went blind 6 years ago due to an accident. During my first years of motherhood, it was really hard for me to find peer support network for blind parents. It was always other support groups for parents of blind children or parents with disabilities, but none for blind parents themselves. And when I found my way to the NFB, I got in touch with our state affiliate president, Lynn, and I asked her about the Blind Parents Group. And she said, there is not, but you can start one. And I've been having a bunch of great blind parents and grandparents and even their kids and grandkids coming on to the virtual Zoom and sharing their stories, and listening to that definitely gives me strength and gives me hope that, me being a parent, I can do it.
That's terrific. And I have looked at some of the things that you have been involved with that. I know you have a lot of good speakers, and you offer a lot of encouragement to yourself and people like you as well, going through the similar journey of parenting. So that's great that you're able to be a resource for that. If someone wanted to get in contact with you and the work that you're doing with the Blind Parents Group, how would they do that?
They can give me an email. So my email is just my name. It's stacie.leap@gmail.com. And that's STACIE _LEAP as in Peter @gmail.com.
Okay, great. Now let's turn it back over to you, Lisa. Before we close here, I believe that you have an exciting update, a surprise update that you wanted to save for the end about a sponsorship for Believe You Can. What is that?
Yeah, late breaking news, hot off the presses. We have just learned that Blind Abilities is coming in at a bronze level sponsor. So thank you, Blind Abilities.
Oh, that is terrific. Yes, we're definitely happy to support the work that the Believe You Can is doing, because we really align our mission with the mission of Believe You Can as well. That's terrific.
Yeah, this is a great partnership.
All right, Lisa, do you want to close us out? Give us the rundown one more time again of the date and time of the show and the website where people can buy tickets.
Sure. So again, this year's Dancing Dots presents Believe You Can 2022 this Saturday, October 15th, 8 p.m. start time. It is all virtual. Tickets can be purchased at www.BelieveYouCan.Live. The tickets are $10 and $25. There is also the opportunity to make a donation should you not be able to actually watch the show, or if you just feel so inclined to just make a donation, maybe above or beyond the ticket price, is the opportunity to do that. As I said, we're pretty tight on our roster right now for performers, but there is a link to register for the show is also on the website.
Okay, great. Well, to all the listeners, I hope that you all check out Believe You Can. And as I said in the beginning, if you have watched the show previously, we hope that you will come back. You will not be disappointed. I know that we have done a lot of planning for this. I'm on the committee as well. And we have done a lot of planning to make this year a really, really great show. We try to make it better each year. And if you'd like to hear participants such as Jana, and you're also going to hear me, I'm going to be doing singing as I did in the past 2 years. So if you're interested in that, we would love to have you at Believe You Can 2022. Thank you to all the participants from the committee, and thank you, Jana, as well, for coming and sharing your experience. And we will see you, all the listeners, at the show.
When we share
what we see through
each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited expectations and the reality of blind abilities.
And the realities of blind abilities.